911, what is your emergency?
Every day, emergency services call handlers expertly deal with those in desperate situations.
When we pick up 911, you never know what type of call you'll answer.
Taking calls from terrified victims.
It is not a joke. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna bleed to death. I'm afraid.
No, you're not, sir.
To listening to cold-blooded killers.
My friend and I got into an altercation. I'm the only one who came out alive.
Are you telling me you've killed somebody?
These are the stories behind the emergency call.
I can honestly say I could never have been trained enough for that call doctor.
With never-before-seen footage, we explore the real story behind the most shocking emergency calls.
My son fell in with a gorilla. He's dragging my son. I can't watch this.
What is the location of your emergency?
It's in the Orange Avenue. They're shooting.
My brother told me he reached a nightclub.
Yes, sir.
And he said that somebody came in there and shut up the place.
No, we're hearing gunshots like crazy.
Where are you at?
At Pulse Nightclub.
Please hurry up. The Pulse.
Emergency 911, this is Dr. Lines being reported. What? What's your name?
My name is, I pledge of allegiance to Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi of the Islamic State. I want to let you know I'm in Orlando, and I did the shooting.
We were on vacation. Me, my mom, my brother, my cousin, my aunt, my uncle, and her 3 kids. So it was a lot of us. They were annual vacations we used to take. We were like big kids. We were just so excited. My cousin, Akira, mentioned to me like, hey, let's go out and do something. And I'm like, I told them that I wasn't really interested in going out because I had worked double shifts like the week prior. And I was like, no, I'm staying in the bed. But then I was like, you know what, I'm on vacation. I don't go out at home, so why not? So my cousin and my aunt kind of like started looking for a like something for us to do that was age appropriate for all of us, because at the time I was only 20 and my cousin was 18. She just turned 18 that year, and Patience was only 20 as well. So we had to find something that was able to incorporate all of us. And Pulse popped up on the Google search. My cousin was like, oh, this looks lit. That's our term. That's slang for us, like, this looks really fun. So she was like, oh, this looks lit. So we were like, okay, like, let's get dressed and go. We were really having a battle about what we were going to wear, because we were like, I'm not sure what kind of club this is. So we kind of just wore like, just jeans and shirt, like, cardigans or something simple. So we could just go enjoy ourselves and come back and talk about it. And that's when life completely changed.
Ross Nurse Unit update, involved shooting. There's multiple firearms involved.
Me and my friend Tevin, we went back a long way. We clicked immediately. We understood each other. He understood me. I met him here in Florida, but then his job moved him to Michigan. That week, he went to North Carolina to visit his family. And then that Saturday, he flew back in here to Orlando. And one of the things we want to do is go out to eat and then go out to the club.
Orlando Fire. At the club, tell us the lieutenant is requesting multiple units, please. They have at least 25 plus victims.
We got dropped off at Pulse like around 11:30. The lady at the door, she was like, girls are gorgeous. You guys are not going to get into any trouble tonight. We're like, no, why? Like, we're not from here. We're just like enjoying the atmosphere. She's like, okay, have fun. They put like these huge black X's on our head, which stated that we weren't 21, but over 18, and that we couldn't drink. So like, even if we were like those kind of kids that were slick, we couldn't get away with it. These huge X's were black and with permanent marker. So it was really funny. So we got in there and we were just enjoying ourselves to the fullest. We had so much fun. It was like 3 different parts of the club. So like when you walked in, it was like the entrance. And then when you went to the back, it was like the Caribbean area. And then if you came back in and you went to the other side, it was like the hip hop room where they like played like music that was for like the youth and stuff today. So we spent a lot of time in the hip hop room. We obviously discovered that it was a gay bar once we got there. We don't really care. Like we had the time of our lives. We was dancing, we made friends. So we started like dance circles. People were dancing with us. My cousin jumps on the dance pole and she starts dancing on the pole. I'm recording her and we were having so much fun.
We would always arrive at least around 11:30, 12 o'clock. We would go to the bar. I would have a few drinks just to try to loosen myself up. And I mean, I have fun regardless, but you know, a few drinks makes it, you know, even better. Do I know how to dance? No, but after a few little drinks, you know, you tend to do a little something, you know, so just have fun.
So we were closing the club down. Like we were there up until closing. And that's when life completely changed. The club closed at 2. We were getting ready to go and we were just going to get an Uber back home. So I went to press the Uber button. And you hear these loud pop noises, like pop, 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 pop.
We used the restroom. And just as we was ready to leave him out of the stall, we started hearing the gunshots, the rapid fire.
An off-duty police officer working as a security guard at Pulse engaged the active shooter. But after firing several rounds, he retreated and called for backup.
Orlando Fire. We need you 1912 South Orange for shots fired. We got multiple people down. We have emergency traffic. 1912. You said 1912 South Orange? At the Pulse, yes.
I'm in a complete daze. I am frozen. I actually don't know what's going on.
Seven said to me, "Is this for real or is it somebody shooting?" And I knew that it was gunshots.
I looked to my left, people were still dancing, but then that's when you started seeing people run into our side, trying to get out. And, you know, I was in such of a daze, I didn't realize that my cousin and Patience had ran out of the side door that was right next to me. Akira and Patience, they got out. When they realized that I wasn't with them, they turned back around. They're coming at me. I looked up and like Patience and Akira are yelling at me like, "We gotta get out of here." And like, when I snapped out of it, I turned around and we ended up running into the bathroom. And that's where we got stuck.
Sunday, June 12th, 2016. The time, 2:03 a.m.
Emergency 911, this is recorded line.
Orange County transfer is going to be in reference to a shooting at Pulse Nightclub.
Thank you, County. Hello, caller? Caller?
It's 1912 South Orange Avenue.
Did they specify if they saw anyone with a gun?
Nope.
No? Okay. All right, thank you, County.
No problem.
All right, bye.
At 2:04 a.m., emergency services switchboards light up as they start to receive multiple calls from the public about an active shooter at Pulse Nightclub, with many of the calls coming from inside the building.
We have multiple down. No shots are going on right now. Bring the shield up.
No, please call the Pulse. P-U-L-S-E.
Okay.
In Orlando.
For the shooting, how many people are shooting?
I think it's 2. I don't know. But I'm in the bathroom with a bunch of people, and he's shooting, and everybody is bleeding everywhere.
People started running inside of the bathroom and then inside the stall. Immediately took cover, underneath the sink. People kept coming in and just jumping on top of me.
Hurry up.
We have help on the way. We just want to try to identify the person that's doing the shooting if you can help.
I don't give a Hurry up. Oh my God.
Inside of the stores, people were piled on top of each other, like trying to huddle together, trying to stay safe.
People were hysterical. I mean, they were crying, trying to, try to get out of the club, and it just seemed like I just kept hearing gunshots and people screaming, people saying, "Please don't shoot me, please don't do this." I mean, it was very scary and terrifying. I took cover. Tevin stood behind the door to brace it closed, but the gunshots got closer and closer.
He's in the bathroom. Hurry up.
She's in the bathroom with you now. Stand on line. Let me get a dispatch on the phone with us. Don't hang up.
Hurry up. He's loading up. He's loading up. Hurry up.
When the shooter came into the bathroom, he opened up the first stall, because it was 3 stalls. We were in the big stall, which they called handicap stall. I remember him opening the doors and opening fire inside of the stall doors, killing everybody in it. He opened up the second stall and he shot everybody in it. He had an AR-15 rifle, so those shots were so loud and so fast, you could see the smoke in the bathroom. And then I remember him saying, "Damn, my gun's jammed." And he opened that stall door, and we did not know he had another gun. He had a handgun, and he opened fire in the stall. And I remember feeling this hard, like somebody dropped a ton of bricks on my side. That's when I knew I was shot, but I didn't believe that I was actually shot.
We need to and start getting these injured out. We have a lot down in here.
The first responding police officers were met with a horrifying scene.
Let's go! Just go! Just go!
Hundreds of terrified nightclubbers were heading to the streets.
Get back in the car! Let's go! I got 3 here and I got 5 there. All right, units have just arrived on Kaylee. Somebody shot over there on the corner.
With the shooter still active, armed police prepare to enter the building.
Still shooting, we got units going in.
I wasn't supposed to work that Sunday. 2 o'clock in the morning, my phone rings and the caller ID on my cell phone says my boss's name. And I immediately panicked. I thought, oh my gosh, was I supposed to be up? Was I supposed to be working on Sunday? Oh my gosh, I overslept. Picked up the phone and she said through gritted teeth, "We have a shooting and I need your help." And she said, "The assignment desk will give you a call. They'll let you know where you're going." Great. So I'm in my car, called the assignment desk, and they said, "Okay, the address is, whatever the address is." And I said, what nightclub is this? And they said, Pulse. And that immediately hit my gut. We've covered things at Pulse before. We've covered domestic incidents. And I thought, is this gonna be a domestic, boyfriend, girlfriend fight in the parking lot? I traveled down Orange Avenue towards Pulse, and I immediately saw a police barricade 3 blocks north of where Pulse is located, and that's when I knew this wasn't a domestic. This was bad.
K9, we still have an active shooter. Guys, stay down, there's gonna be more shots.
I want to tell you, this is a very intense situation right now. There is still a gunman on the loose right now. I've covered a lot of shootings in my career, and the scene that I arrived at was unlike any other that I've seen. The police yelling at people to stay back, stay back.
Let's go, over here in the parking lot. Come on. Hey, get over here. Come here.
The patrons from Pulse Nightclub were still trying to get away from the scene, holding and hugging each other. We had no idea what had happened in there.
Hey, run! Let's go, come on! We need to get these people up.
It's you. Hurry up.
With the shooter now inside the bathrooms, the situation for the Orlando police had changed from being an active shooter to an active hostage situation. As the police department worked out their plan of action, the shooter called 911.
Emergency 911, this is Dr. Line, being recorded. What? What's your name?
My name is I pledge of allegiance to Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi of the Islamic State. I want to let you know I'm in Orlando, and I did the shooting.
How may I help you?
Hi, this is the Orlando Police Department. I was wondering if you can give me subscriber information for a cell phone.
Just another moment.
Okay.
Alright, coming up now.
I have information on the phone number for the shooter. Comes back to an Omar Payton.
I met Omar online. He messaged me. He was very charismatic. He was pretty funny. Loved long conversations. He was a pretty good listener. We found a lot of things in common. Even though we were from similar cultures, he and his family were from Afghanistan, and they were definitely way more religious than my family. My family didn't approve, and they reminding me every day that it was not the right choice for me. So we were dating for a fairly short time. It was only 6 months, about 6 months before we got married. And I moved down to Florida to be with him.
By 2:48 a.m., police had rescued all the injured from inside the building, except for 31 people being held hostage in dressing rooms and bathrooms by Omar Mateen. The Orlando Police Department's hostage negotiator attempted to make contact with him.
Hello?
Hello there. Hi there, this is Orlando Police. Who am I speaking with, please?
You're speaking with the person who pledged his allegiance to the Islamic State, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, Hafizahullah.
Okay, can you tell me where you are right now so I can get you some help?
No, because you have to tell America to stop bombing Syria and Iraq. They're killing a lot of innocent people. So what am I to do here when my people are getting killed over there?
I was getting to know him, and I was getting to know more and more that he was way more different than other people. He was more expressive in who he is, and different opinions about a lot of things.
What's going on is that I feel the pain of the people getting killed in Syria and Iraq and all over the Muslim Ummah.
Okay. So have you done something about that?
Yes, I have.
After about a month or a month and a half, I started to notice his imbalance in emotions, how he would get angry and how he would be full of rage so suddenly and so quickly.
Tell me what you did, please.
No, you already know what I did.
Constantly getting into fights and arguments with his parents, with his sisters, and all of that could trigger explosions. That's when he first hurt me. In the beginning, it was every 2 weeks, and then became every week, and then it became every other day.
After enduring months of abuse at the hands of Omar, Sitora filed for divorce 5 years before the shootings and never saw him again.
My homeboy Tamerlan Sarnaik did his thing on the Boston Marathon. My homeboy Munir Abu Salha did his thing. Okay, so now it's my turn.
An hour after he had entered the nightclub, an agitated Omar was still in the men's bathroom, with 31 people still being held hostage in bathrooms and dressing rooms within the club.
My head is down, with my hands over my head, face down. I happened to look up, and when I looked up, it was Omar standing right there in the doorframe. And when I looked up, I looked at him in his eyes. His eyes were cold, terrifying. I'll never forget his eyes. He walked back out of the stall. He closed the door.
I see shadows moving in here.
30 seconds later, he came back in and he started shooting.
Get back.
When Omar fired some shots, Tevin went down. But at that point, I just didn't know if he had gotten shot or if he was just really trying to take cover and not get hit. After each round is when I started saying to myself, am I next? Is this gonna hurt? And where is he gonna shoot me?
Emergency 911, this is recorded line.
Here in Pulse.
You're in Pulse? Okay, so are you in the bathroom?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
So we need medicine for like anything. Seriously.
I understand, sir. We have tons of officers there. They're clearing the building as fast as they can. They're coming for you. They know where you are, okay?
I knew Akira was injured. And you could see the bullet hole in her arm. I've never seen so much blood in my life. This man is sitting in the bathroom with us. And I remember Akira just saying to me, she was like, we shouldn't have never came here. And I'm just like, it's not our fault. Like, we're getting out of here today. I said, we're going home. We're getting out of here today.
By the way, there's some vehicles outside that have some bombs, just to let you know. Your people are going to get it, and I'm going to ignite it if they try to do anything stupid.
They're asking for your bomb squad. There's a Tahoe in the parking lot that may have explosives tied to it.
He's telling the police that he had bombs to light up a city block.
He did mention along the lines that there were people at East, West, and North and that they were going to attack in like 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, at this point, it was a waiting game. Just to try and see if we were making it out or this was my final days.
I'm gonna let you know when the officers come for you, okay? They're in the building now, getting everyone out as fast as they can.
Okay.
I want you to stay on the phone with me. You're doing really good.
Okay, thank you. People need medical attention ASAP.
Okay, we have lots of ambulances out there too. Okay, they got medical attention.
Someone's been shot in the chest.
Someone's been shot in the chest. Okay.
Yes. Like now.
For all we knew, we could have been in there for a day or two now. Like it felt like that.
Okay, the people who are injured, can they walk?
Maybe 4 to 6 can walk.
Okay.
And then 4 days. One cannot walk.
Okay, you said so the people that are
bullet wounds in chest.
But the people that are injured, about 4 of them can walk?
Maybe 3 or 4. One's been shot in the thigh, one's been shot in the chest, and one I don't know what he's shot, but he's passed out.
Nothing but blood in this room. And I'm just watching these poor people just pretty much struggle for life.
A lot of people in other rooms in the club they're getting to, and they got to make sure that there's no more threats there.
Gotcha.
I know you guys have been waiting a long time, and I know it's a horrible situation.
Yes,
but
a very long time.
I know. The officers are going to detonate a charge in the building, okay? So you're going to hear a boom. Just let everyone know.
I heard this explosion, and I didn't know what it was.
Was the charge close to you guys?
I don't know how close it was, but we heard it.
Okay, but it didn't sound like it was right outside the wall or anything like that?
It sounded like outside the restroom, yes, in the bar area.
Sound like it's closer to the bar? Okay.
Yeah.
During 2 of my live shots, we actually heard what was happening inside Pulse. In one of them, we heard a loud concussion explosion.
This is all outside the Pulse Nightclub. Whoa, and we just heard a loud boom coming from just south of our location here. We don't know what that boom was, but I think you saw everybody react.
The Orlando Police Department had detonated stun grenades near the bathroom in an attempt to disorientate Omar Mateen.
When the fire went off, he was scared.
And next thing you know, that explosion went off again. Pipes burst and water flooding the floor.
Okay,
You heard the second one?
Just heard. Yeah. There was like 2 in one. Third one.
Okay.
Like boom, 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 3 in a row.
The shooter runs, he darts out of our stall, and he gets into a shooting match with the police.
We just heard several rounds of gunfire.
We actually heard Orlando police make entry to Pulse. You heard the of the gunfire, and it makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up when I think about it. It's very frightening to hear.
It was just nonstop. It was debris flying everywhere.
And I'm just getting word right now. Shooter is dead inside the nightclub, according to Orlando Police Twitter. That just came in 20 seconds ago. Pulse shooting, the shooter is dead inside the nightclub.
After that shootout, it was done.
A huge burden was lifted. Sense of relief that who was still alive would be okay.
They use another bomb.
Oh shit.
What's going on?
They hit the wall. They came in inside the wall.
Is the police coming through the wall?
Outside of the bathroom.
We were in there a very long time. We went into the restroom around 1:40 a.m. Didn't leave out until 5 o'clock.
The typical mass shooting lasts 3 to 5 minutes in America. And the fact that we even have an average like that is sickening in itself. But this one lasted 3 hours. I can't even imagine the terror that was going through the minds of these people.
I looked at Tiara. She was crying, and you know, she was afraid that her cousin had died because she was unconscious.
Richard Atkin was in the stall with me that night, and he told me my cousin was still breathing.
But I checked her pulse. She did have a pulse, so I told Tiara, I said, look, she's still breathing. She's gonna be okay. I asked someone else to support her neck, but that person that I asked to support her neck, she was shot. I didn't even know. But law enforcement demanded that we, you know, get to the breach.
Force, notify the hospital. We got more coming to them. More coming.
10-4.
They rushed us over to their command center and to get looked at it with EMS and then get transported to the hospital.
Let's go.
Command Pulse,
You guys need help?
Canine calling.
"300 people were inside the Pulse nightclub when Omar Mateen opened fire. 50 people, including the shooter, were killed. A further 53 people were wounded, including one police officer. At the time, it was the deadliest shooting in US history.
We have another person injured who's being brought here to Orlando Regional Medical Center.
Both Tiara and Richard were taken to nearby hospitals. Richard was unscathed and discharged within hours. Tiara had been shot in her abdomen and faced days in hospital and lengthy surgeries.
They were looking for Akira all night. None of the hospitals could find her, nobody could find her, nobody could find my cousin. My mom gets a phone call, and something in my heart just said that was the phone call. You just hear her screaming.
The night of the Pulse Club shooting, I'll never forget it. My best friend was shot and killed. it would stay with me for the rest of my life. I'll never forget it.
Pulse has affected me personally in a lot of ways. First of all, I'm a member of the gay community here in Orlando. It hit me personally, you know, as an attack on my community as a gay man and also as a resident of the city of Orlando.
Akira and Patience, they got out. To know that they actually got out and they came back for me, I didn't know what to do. I had survivor's guilt a lot, like to the point where I wanted to commit suicide.
It was kind of hard a little bit at first. You know, I would hear, I could hear the little noise, and it would just remind me of a gunshot. So I would, you know, get a little, you know, frightened.
I have never seen a city come together the way the residents of Orlando came together in the days following the Pulse Nightclub shooting. The day after the shooting, 10,000 people gathered at the Dr. Phillips Center for Performing Arts. This was supposed to be an organized event, but the city didn't want to do it right away. People came anyway. They lit candles, they held each other. People from every denomination, people who were agnostic, every creed, color, they all gathered together. And that's where the phrase Orlando United came from.
You couldn't beat us. And I will forever be Orlando strong.
Do you need police, fire, or an ambulance?
It's an emergency.
Okay, stay on the line with me. I'm going to get you over to an EMS dispatcher. You need to answer all their questions, okay? Hang on.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, sir. Sir, are you still there?
Oh, my God. Oh, Mama. Do this.
Okay, are you with the patient now, sir?
My wife is in there with her now. I've already tried to resuscitate her. I've tried to give her mouth to mouth.
Okay, how old is the patient?
She's only 2 years old.
When I first met Jaren, she was just a nice, calm, friendly person, fun to be around. She was a neighbor of a friend of mine that I was staying with, and that's how we met, and it just progressed from there. When I found out Jaren was pregnant, it made me more than happy. I was excited. I made it about 5 minutes after she was born. I was on my way, but I got stuck in traffic. When I first saw China, I was overwhelmed with joy. It was my little me. Me and Jaren had already split up when China was born. And that's when it kept me away. They would not allow me on the property at all.
And just to confirm, sir, is she conscious?
No, ma'am.
And breathing?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I actually did not find out that she was with Charles until all of this happened. That's when I found out that she was actually with somebody else.
After the birth of Cheyenne, 19-year-old Jaren Hare formed a relationship with 32-year-old Charles Jason Darnell.
They were laborers, but they did not have a lot of money, struggling paycheck to paycheck, and really and truthfully spending their money on things that they probably shouldn't have been spending it on, such as marijuana and alcohol.
Stay on the line with me. I do have help already on the way there for you.
Oh, God, man. Baby. Oh, sorry. Poor baby.
Well, we're going up to the house where Cheyenne died. The house no longer exists. It's just a piece of vacant property now in Oxford. But we're going to go up there and look at it. The house was a single-family dwelling. It looked like it may have been a mobile home at one time that was added on to, and additions were placed in it. It was something that had been repaired and remodeled many times, you could tell. Pulling up, and right here's where the house was at one time. This is where the house stood where the child died. It's been torn down for a while now. The house over there, that was some relatives of the child. Her great-grandmother lived there, I believe. That was who was living there. May have torn it down because they didn't want to see it every day, who knows.
Okay, and what's the problem? Tell me exactly what happened.
Our snake, we have a Burmese python, and she's about 12 foot long. She got out of the cage last night and got into the baby's crib and strangled her to death. I was first notified that morning, so I responded up there. Well, once I got there, I was briefed thoroughly by the people that were already on the scene. Child had been declared deceased and was in the back of an ambulance. So I was able to get in the back of the ambulance and view the child's body. It was apparent that in addition to the strangulation or the suffocation caused by the snake squeezing her, she had bite marks on her head and shoulders, almost like the snake was attempting to position her so that he could swallow her, as these breeds of snakes do.
Okay, has the snake been contained?
It's underneath the dresser.
It's under the dresser?
In the bedroom. I tried to kill it.
Okay.
And then I stopped myself because I wanted them to see her.
The mother and her boyfriend were in the back of the patrol car. The snake was still loose in the house, and we believed the snake to be injured.
Oxford County Sheriff's Office contacted the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation, who immediately sent officers to apprehend the snake.
What we have here is an albino ball python, and this is one of our many favorite breeders. This is an adult breeder female ball python. The thing about reptiles that fascinates me is just how simple they are to maintain, and they make great pets. And in today's age, we have so many people that are allergic to cats and dogs, and they can't stand the fur and the dander. And people love pets. People love animals. And reptiles make a great pet. They're a lazy man's pet. You know, you don't have to feed them every day. Some of these animals, we could probably get by with this animal and feed it maybe just once a week. So they're simple, they're easy, their requirements are minimal. It really makes a perfect pet.
We weighed it, measured it. It was grossly underweight, grossly underfed. So that started leading us to believe, based upon the injuries we were seeing on the child, that the snake come out of that aquarium looking for food. Our investigation continued. Darnell and Hare were taken down to the sheriff's office in Bushnell and interviewed.
How long have you had these snakes?
Well, they're actually Jaren's snakes, and she's had them for quite some time. She's had the snakes for, I think, like 4 years.
Let's talk about the first snake. How old do you say Gypsy is?
I'd say she's about 11 foot.
How much does she weigh, you think? I mean, could you take a guess the...
I'd say a good 50 pounds easily.
And she is a...
albino Burmese python.
So this is a Burmese python. This particular animal was one we caught as a baby down in South Florida. This animal is used mainly for educational outreach and really teaching people about responsible pet ownership.
All these large constrictors, the Burmese pythons, the Indian pythons, even the anacondas, all the large constrictors, it's amazing, the immense strength that they have. Burmese pythons, they're going to get as large as they can manage to find food to enable them to grow. So the availability of food, temperature, water, apex predators, all of those things kind of go into the formula as to how big they can get.
I'm being told that you're supposed to have permits for snakes like this.
They had, before I got her, it was after I got her, they had made it where you had to have a license to have.
Did you get a license? No.
During the time that they acquired the animal, anybody could have a Burmese python. But now those rules have changed, and it's a conditional species, so you have to meet certain biosecurities. So bottom line, it was a legal acquisition. There was no permit required, but all of that has since changed.
Did you see about getting one or anything?
No, I had already had snakes.
Okay.
So you didn't think you needed to have a permit?
State wildlife officers informed us that there was about 5 different wildlife violations there.
The investigators pressed the couple for more information about what happened that night.
I got up to go to the bathroom about 12:30. The snake was out on the floor, and I picked her up, and I grabbed the bag. I put her in the bag, and then put her back in there.
Where was the snake at when you found her out of her cage?
In the hallway. I almost stepped right on her. I don't know how I forgot that shit. When I went to the bathroom, I almost stepped right on her.
Where'd you say that her cage was?
It's just when you walk in my front door, you're staring right at it. It's right in the living room.
How close is that to Cheyenne's bedroom?
It's maybe 10 to 15 feet from the end of the tank to the actual door of her room.
How big would you say the aquarium is?
Was the tank longer than the snake?
No.
No. So your snake's 11 foot long, so probably 8 foot long maybe? Just by guessing?
Yeah.
2-3 foot wide?
It was probably about 2 foot wide.
Does it have a lid that goes to it?
No.
No lid? What are y'all currently using for a lid for now?
And then we just had a quilt over the top.
This Burmese python was not maintained to the standards that were required here in the state of Florida. Perimeter of the cage should have been 1.5 times the length of the animal. It needed to have proper ventilation, it needed to have access to water, it needed to have a clean substrate so that it could be maintained, and it needed to be kept secure in a cage that was locked. Didn't have to be a padlock, didn't have to be a key lock, it had to be locked, whatever human device you wanted to use.
Was the quill fastened down anyway?
No, it was safety pinned.
Safety pin? Okay. I'm not really familiar with snakes, so how often do you feed one of these things?
Well, like I would say once a month, but I normally feed her once a month. What I do is,
what do you feed her?
Squirrel.
Squirrel?
You know how many squirrels I see hit on the side of the road and get hit? I take one of those squirrels as long as it's fairly fresh, and I put it in front of her face, and she will take it out of my hand and eat it.
This animal was very, very thin and so emaciated, stressed out. This Burmese python was denied any chance to feed on just any items, denied any hope of really reaching its full maturity in terms of growth because of the lack of food and proper housing.
Do you mark on a calendar when you feed her and when she's due again?
No.
Or you just guess?
Now with Google and everything that we have access to, there's no excuse for ignorance. There's no excuse to not know. I mean, it's just no sense, no thinking, no logic, none whatsoever. Extreme gross negligence across the board in all areas.
Seven weeks after Cheyenne's death, Jaron and Charles were arrested and charged with manslaughter and child neglect.
What this couple was trying to do with this animal is beyond my wildest imagination. But my expert opinion was that this animal was abused, underfed, compromised, was not given the environment. I've never seen anybody mistreat an animal so much as that snake was mistreated. Almost inhumane treatment of this animal.
I think in their eyes, they don't see that they did anything wrong. I don't agree with that. I know that they did something wrong. When Jaron and Charles got sentenced, they were almost emotionless. and they shed not one tear. It's heartbreaking.
It was a tough case to be involved in because nobody wins. You know, this little girl is dead, is no longer with us.
In my heart, I don't believe that they got enough. It'll never replace Cheyenne. No matter how long they spend, it'll never bring her back.